This is Matador News. And these are today's headlines. A beagle wins Best in Show at the Westminster Dog Show. An old water pipe breaks, causing substantial damage in Hollywood. East Coast winter storms could cost the U.S. $1 billion. Hello and welcome to Matador News. I am Jessica Atkins.
And I am Cassie Yanagacio.
The DWP says the extent of damage and cause of the water main break in the Hollywood Hills this morning is not exactly clear. So far, the heavy flooding in the local neighborhoods has caused damage to vehicles parked in lower level lots. DWP officials say they are shutting off water pipes in order to thoroughly assess the damage.
Approximately 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning, it's an 18-inch cast iron main break, installed in 1926. We're in the process of making the shutdown on it right now. Once the water's off, we can assess the damage to the pipe as well as any structural damage around, and then we'll start making repairs.
Officials say fixing the pipes could take some 15 hours. Officials also say pipe age, water pressure, and soil quality may cause pipes to break.
East Coast temperatures are expected to fall below average, setting new records. 6 people have been reported dead from weather-related incidents. The National Weather Service warned residents to stay off the slippery roads. Many cities have spent more than $30 million alone on snow removal. Hundreds of school districts are closed because of the dropping temperatures and snow. Mountains of snow are expected to pile even higher late into the week and weekend.
Israeli divers have found a huge amount of gold coins in the Mediterranean off the coast. The divers found almost 2,000 coins that they originally believed were from a toy game. But the Israel Antiquity Authorities say the coins had been on the bottom of the sea for nearly 1,000 years. They say the coins come in several denominations and have been preserved well. Authorities also say this finding may lead to more archaeological discoveries.
Ukraine troops retreat from the city of Debaltseve after weeks of fighting Russian-backed separatists, and the separatists have reportedly raised their flag over the city. The NATO Secretary General accused separatists of refusing to respect the ceasefire agreement. He urged the Russians to end support for the separatists and withdraw forces and military equipment. The Ukraine president pulled more than 167 soldiers, but rebels reported taking hundreds of soldiers captive. Russian President Vladimir Putin urged the Ukraine soldiers to leave their weapons behind and surrender.
The man on trial for killing American sniper Chris Kyle might face an automatic life sentence if convicted. Eddie Ray Routh has confessed to killing Kyle and another former Navy SEAL, but has pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Defense attorneys say Routh was in a psychotic state at the time of the killings. The defendant's sister, Laura Blevins, testified she didn't believe her brother when he said he killed the 2 former Navy SEALs. Blevins started to fear her brother was telling the truth when she saw Chris Kyle's truck parked outside of their house.
Matador News reporter Ashton Smith is live in the newsroom with the latest on immigration.
The White House says it plans to delay, for now, its plans to reform the nation's immigration policy after a federal judge in Texas blocked Obama's executive action Monday night. The president says he wants Congress to step up and take action.
Then what they should be doing is working together and working with this administration for a comprehensive immigration policy that allows us to continue to be both a nation of laws and a nation of immigrants.
So-called dreamers who were hoping to start applying for a reprieve under the policy will have to wait. CSUN Chicano Studies professor Jorge Garcia says dreamers shouldn't give up yet.
This I see just as kind of a bump in the road. It'll slow things down. It'll, get opponents to immigration all fired up. Yeah, they won one. Those of us who are pro-immigrant are saying, my God, we've got another delay, another bump in the road. But I think ultimately we will see what amounts to a victory for the people who are here.
The White House said it will appeal and will likely request an emergency stay of the judge's decision at the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans. Now back to you in the studio.
President Obama is addressing the violence caused by the Islamic State group at today's White House summit. Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson opened the meeting this morning.
This is an important topic at an important time. As I've said many times, we've evolved to a new phase in the global terrorist threat. We therefore must evolve to a new phase in our counterterrorism efforts.
Police leaders, lawmakers, and mayors from around the world attended the meeting. Summit officials say the priority is to identify and prevent Islamic extremism in the United States. The president will also speak tomorrow at the State Department to a meeting of foreign ministers.
Now let's go to Danielle Pendleton with the latest entertainment news story.
Thank you. In this year's Westminster Dog Show, one winner took the audience by surprise.
My choice for the best in show is the beagle.
It seems like the Miss P is following her granduncle's paw prints. Uno was the first beagle to win the Westminster Dog Show in 2008. More than 3,000 dogs competed this year. The purpose is to evaluate the breed stocking for the next generations. The owner of the winner plans on taking time off to become a mother. Random House says it will be publishing a new Dr. Seuss book. The book, titled What Pet Should I Get?, will be the first full original Dr. Seuss book in 25 years. Sketches for this book were found in a box along with other texts and illustrations. His widow found the sketches in 2013 while remodeling her La Jolla house. The new book will be published on July 28th. The publisher also plans to publish 2 more books based on what was found. Some California parents are upset because a drive-in theater showed screenings of the SpongeBob movie and 50 Shades of Grey right next to each other this past weekend. Parents say they had their children cover their eyes at the West Wind Solano drive-in during the sex scenes of 50 Shades of Grey. Parents said it was too tempting to avoid watching the other screens, so they decided to leave. Regardless of the criticism, 50 Shades still managed to break records by making $85 million the opening weekend. Now, Victor Park with sports.
Thanks, Danielle. ESPN Outside the Lines has identified the New England Patriots staff member behind the Deflategate scandal. The locker room attendant reportedly tried to hand an official an unauthorized football. The football was meant for special teams use, and it is unclear if it had been tampered with in any way, such as having been deflated. It is believed the exchange took place at some point at the first half of the 2015 AFC Championship game. The staffer has been identified as 48-year-old Jim McNally. McNally has worked at New England games for 10 years. He has been assigned to the officials' locker room since 2008. It is not known if McNally is the same Patriots attendant who was reported to have taken 2 bags of footballs before the game. Alex Rodriguez has finally apologized to his fans. The Yankee star was suspended in 2013 for using performance-enhancing drugs. In a handwritten letter, A-Rod says he takes full responsibility for the mistakes that led to his suspension. He goes on to say he regrets that his actions made the situation worse than it needed to be. The New York Yankees say they have no intention of releasing him. Let's look at sports now to Danielle Pendleton, with business.
Thank you, Victor. The Wall Street Journal says Apple is planning on ordering more than 5 million units of Apple Watch for its initial run. Half of those will be the most basic models, which will sell for $350. Insiders say about 17% of the initial production run will be the high-end model, which will be cased in karat gold. There is no set price yet, but is expected to go for more than $4,000 MacBook Pro. That would make the watch the most expensive Apple product ever. The high-end watch could make $5 million in revenue for the company. A new California bill has been introduced that could benefit retail and restaurant employees. The Fair Scheduling Act would require businesses to schedule employees at least 2 weeks in advance. The bill would apply to food and retail companies with 500 or more California employees. Some CSUN students say they are in favor.
I think it would be a positive thing, so I think people could, plan ahead, or if they do have plans and, their schedule lets them know you're actually working this day, they could kind of let them know, hey, I can't, so.
It'll be very beneficial for so many people to plan their things they have to do, appointments and things like that.
If approved, California will be the first state in the nation with this law. And now back to Victor with health.
New developments are happening in the effort to fight HIV. Patients could soon see a vaccine. Researchers at the Scripps Research Institute in Florida tested a drug they say has worked effectively, blocking all strains of the disease. The study, published in the journal Nature, shows how the drug blocked every strain of HIV 1, 2, and 3. The team now plans to begin trials on patients with HIV within the next year. And now back to news.
I'm Jessica Atkins.
And I'm Cassie Yanagacio. Thank you for watching Matador News.